Hello. So I recently found a journal that I kept as a teenager, and so this piece is a reinterpretation of one of those diary entries. It's called 16. When he and I are together, I split my time between trying to name all of the colours that linger in his eyes in the sunlight and trying to play it cool. We spend hours every day after school winding our way up and down the paperbark streets of my neighbourhood. Me with my brown shoes and fold-over socks in hand, him pushing that BMX 2 sizes too small that he uses to sneak out from his nonna's house to see me. Sometimes he puts my shoes in the bike's basket because he says he misses the way that I talk with my hands. I can't tell you what we talk about when we are together, not for lack of wanting to, but simply because most of the time I'm too busy trying to decide if his eyes are flecked with honey or ochre or amber, or if the ribbon around my ponytail makes me look like a child, or if leaving my hair up like this in the first place makes me look too preppy or too chubby or too frigid. They're not his words. He would never, could never say those words to me, but sometimes, just sometimes, I can't help but see them in the way his gaze glances off my face. Words I didn't realise had cut so deep until I saw them etched upon the surface of my mirror, scratched so violently into the glass that I could no longer see my own face. He doesn't know, and I don't tell him either, that these are the things that I think about when we're together. He can't know. Because if he knew, he mightn't stay, and I don't know what I'd do. Because he is the thrumming warmth of the cement against the soles of my feet that grounds me, and I am so scared. I am so scared of floating away. When I'm alone, I spend my time lying in the grass of my backyard, under the washing line, staring at the sky. I like trying to decide where that infinite blue that stretches from the tip of the old gum tree above me ends. I mean, I know, scientifically, but I can't help but wonder what would happen if that infinite blue wasn't so infinite after all. If one day it was just no longer true. What would we do if it had all been some kind of elaborate facade? I think I've worked it out. I think we would lie. I think we would lie to ourselves and to anyone else who would listen. I think we would pretend that the sky was still infinitely blue. I know that I would. When he and I are together, I split my time between peeling apart the petals of frangipanis and trying not to hold his hand. I pick dying frangipanis out of the cardboard grass to distract myself from looking at his hands, and I keep them in my blazer pocket. The waxy flesh of the frangipanis is smooth against my fingertips, and I try to split each stalk into equal pieces, peeling off one petal at a time before letting them fall to the cement, a trail of dismembered flora behind us. He collects frangipanis too, but only those left untouched by the sun, those unblemished by decay, and only ever one. It never takes him too long to find it. It's almost as though he's drawn to its perfection. He simply stops mid-conversation to scoop it from its sheltered spot in the shade. Sometimes I like to play a game in my head where I try to pick the flower he'll choose before he does. I never can. Once he finds his frangipani, he treasures it, treats it as though it is made of glass. He doesn't leave it to crumble in his pocket like I do mine. Instead, he cradles it in the palm of his hand. When we reach the beginning of the tunnel of trees that leads to my house, he turns to say goodbye. He kisses me on both cheeks and tucks his glass frangipani behind my ear. The stem, sticky with sap, is cool against my skin. I watch him ride away, and all I can think about is the warmth of his touch, is how it would feel if one day he simply took my hand as if it belonged with his, as if I belonged with him. I think it would feel as though together we were a kite. I would be the sail lost to the whim of the winds to the infinite blue, but for him. He would be the string, pulling me back to earth, making sure that I was no longer scared, making sure that I didn't float away. Thank you.